Before Rome became an empire, before Greece spread its ideas across the world, there was a civilization that ruled almost everything people knew. An empire so vast it stretched across 3 continents. An empire so organized that even modern governments still copy its system. This was the Persian Empire, the first true global superpower in human history. In the 6th century BC, the ancient world was chaotic. Kings rose and fell quickly. Cities were destroyed as fast as they were built. Power was maintained through fear, cruelty, and endless war. But Persia changed the rules. At the center of this transformation stood one man, Cyrus the Great. Cyrus was born in a small Persian kingdom far from the great cities of the ancient world. At the time, Persia itself was ruled by the Medes. Cyrus was not meant to be an emperor. He was meant to obey. But destiny had other plans. Cyrus led a rebellion, defeated the Medes, and united the Persian tribes under one banner. This moment marked the birth of a new power, one that would soon shock the world. Instead of stopping, Cyrus expanded outward. First came Lydia, one of the richest kingdoms on earth. Then came the impossible target, Babylon. Babylon was not just a city, it was a legend. Massive walls, endless wealth, a population that believed no army could ever enter. Yet in 539 BC, Babylon fell. But not through fire, not through slaughter. Cyrus entered Babylon peacefully. The gates were opened, the city was spared, no temples destroyed, no people enslaved. For the ancient world, this was unheard of. Cyrus ruled differently. He allowed people to keep their religion, their language, their traditions. When he conquered lands, he didn't erase identities, he protected them. He even freed enslaved populations and allowed displaced people to return home. Because of this, many historians consider Cyrus the first ruler in history to govern with tolerance instead of terror. This philosophy was carved in clay, a document now known as the Cyrus Cylinder. Some call it the world's first declaration of human rights. And with this vision, Persia didn't just conquer the world, it organized it. By the time Cyrus died, the Persian Empire was already the largest the world had ever seen. But this was only the beginning, because Cyrus didn't just build an empire, he built a system that would shape civilizations for thousands of years. When Cyrus the Great died, his empire was already massive, but ruling conquered land is far harder than conquering it. Most empires collapse here. Persia didn't. Because the Persians didn't rule with chaos, they ruled with systems. To control millions of people, Persia created something revolutionary. They divided the empire into regions called satrapies. Each satrapy had a governor, called a satrap. But power was never given to one man alone. One official collected taxes, another controlled the army, another reported directly to the king. This system prevented rebellion and stopped corruption before it could grow. Even today, modern governments copy this structure. Then came the roads. The Persians built the Royal Road, over 2,500 kilometers long. Messages that once took months now traveled in days. Couriers rode day and night, changing horses at stations along the way. Historians say this was the first organized postal system in history. Persia didn't just move armies fast, it moved information faster. And information is power. After Cyrus came Darius the Great. Darius didn't just inherit an empire, he perfected it. He standardized laws, unified currency, created a universal tax system. For the first time in history, people across continents used the same money under the same administration. Persia became more than an empire. It became a machine. Under Darius, the Persian Empire stretched from India in the east to Egypt in the west, from Central Asia to the borders of Europe. No empire before or for centuries after matched this scale. Yet, surprisingly, Persia allowed freedom. People worshipped their own gods, spoke their own languages, followed their own traditions. As long as taxes were paid and peace was kept, the empire protected you. This policy created loyalty, not fear. But power like this attracts enemies. Across the Aegean Sea, small Greek city-states watched Persia grow. Athens, Sparta. They saw Persia not as a ruler, but as a threat. And soon, the world would witness one of the most famous clashes in history. East versus West, empire versus city-states, Persia versus Greece.
Persia was unstoppable. Its armies were massive. Its wealth was unmatched. Its system was flawless. But sometimes, history turns on smaller forces. Across the sea, a few Greek city-states refused to bow. They were divided, outnumbered, and vastly weaker. Yet they chose resistance. In 490 BC, Persia marched into Greece. The Persian army numbered in the tens of thousands. The Greeks stood with only a few thousand men. The battlefield was called Marathon. Everyone expected a massacre, but the impossible happened. Greek soldiers charged, faster, harder, and with absolute unity. Against all odds, Persia was pushed back. It was the first crack in the image of Persian invincibility. Persia returned stronger. Years later, King Xerxes I, son of Darius, launched the largest invasion the world had ever seen. Bridges were built over seas, mountains were carved into roads, an army so large it drank rivers dry. Persia stood no chance, or so it seemed. At Thermopylae, 300 Spartans and a small Greek force blocked the Persian army. They fought not to win, but to delay, and they succeeded. Their sacrifice became legend. Persia advanced, but at a cost. Then came Salamis. At sea, the Persian fleet faced a smaller Greek navy, but the Greeks used the narrow waters wisely. Persian ships crashed into each other. Confusion spread. The fleet collapsed. For the first time, Persia lost control of the war. Slowly, the empire began to stretch too far. Rebellions rose. Internal conflicts weakened leadership. Successors lacked the strength of Cyrus or Darius. And then a new force emerged from the west. A young king, a brilliant general. His name was Alexander of Macedon. In a series of lightning-fast campaigns, Alexander shattered Persian armies. City after city fell. Finally, the great capitals of Persia burned. After more than 200 years of dominance, the first global superpower collapsed. But Persia didn't truly die. Its ideas lived on. Administrative systems, road networks, religious tolerance, governance over diversity. Rome copied it. Islamic caliphates refined it. Modern states still follow its blueprint. Persia proved something timeless. Empires don't rule the world with swords alone. They rule with ideas. The Persian Empire may have fallen, but it changed history forever. And that is why it remains the world's first global superpower.
The Persian Empire may be gone, but its legacy still shapes the world we live in today. If you enjoy ancient empires, lost civilizations, and the true stories behind world power, subscribe to the History Archives, because history never truly disappears.